Hello and welcome to our Master Talk. Hello and welcome to our Master Talk on hair care in the current scenario. आप सभी का स्वागत है इस Master Talk live session में. I'm Deepthi Harwani, your host for today, and we shall be talking about hair care management. Our hair is our crowning glory. It symbolizes our personality and tells people so much about us. Having strong and healthy hair can indeed boost our confidence. So it's very important to protect our hair and keep it looking gorgeous every single day in all seasons. Today we shall be talking about looking after our hair from the roots to the ends and how we can manage our hair better to keep it looking healthy and shining. And joining us live from Mumbai is Dr. Shreyans Talesra. Dr. Shreyans Talesra is a leading consultant dermatologist and cosmetologist from Mumbai, practicing at Ami Skin and Hair Clinic, Kandivali, Mumbai. He's a member of the IADVL, Indian Association of Dermatologists, Venerologists, and Leprologists, Association of Cutaneous Surgeons India, ASCI. He's also a member of the International Dermatoscopy Society. He's done his membership from MBBS from Fellowship in Hair Transplant from Israel. Welcome, Doctor.
Thank you.
Doctor, thank you so much for joining us today on this live platform. Our viewers are really looking forward to this session and to hearing from you, Doctor. हमारे जो viewers हमारे साथ इस live platform पे जुड़े हैं वो आपके साथ काफ़ी कुछ आपसे जानना चाहते हैं इस हेयर केयर के बारे में. तो डॉक्टर शुरुआत करते हैं. One of the most common concerns facing people today of all age groups is that of hair loss. So, doctor, please tell us what is considered normal hair loss and when should a person be concerned?
So, most of the people at any point in their life, they suffer from hair loss. Like, I think it is with everyone. So, according to American Academy of Dermatology, if you're losing around 50 to 100 hairs a day, then that is considered as normal. But personally, what I feel is it can be different with different individuals because there are variety of issues which an individual has. So around 8 to 10% of hair follicle, they are in the shading phase. So most of us lose hair up to 50, up to 100. And if you are losing more than 100, or if you're losing hair in bunches, or if you're losing, small strands, or if you're seeing hair all around in your bedroom or on your pillow or while combing, say, and if the number is too high, then it is considered as abnormal. That's an alarming sign because something must have triggered hair loss. So that's the time when you need to consult your doctor or dermatologist.
Right. Well, thank you so much, doctor. And doctor, could you please tell us hair loss के मुख्य कारण क्या होते हैं? What are the general
So
causes for hair loss?
basically, generally, if we broadly classify, hair loss can be of hair loss can occur due to two reasons. One is your hereditary. So hereditary, and the second is your acquired. So hereditary hair loss is one in male we call it as male pattern hair loss, androgenetic alopecia, and in female we call it as female pattern hair loss. And in male, usually it starts around in 20s, around 20 years year of age, and in female it doesn't start very early. It starts around 40s or late 40s. And acquired causes, the most common type, we call it as telogen effluvium. It could be due to many reasons. The common reason is first is your nutritional deficiency. That's the most common cause. Second, it could be due to your diet habits or your stress, your lifestyle. Third is your any diseases, like if you have any hormonal issue like thyroid, both hypo and hypothyroidism can lead to hair loss, your diabetes, your PCOS. And if you had gone under, any severe illness, or if you had fever for any reason for a long duration. So suddenly what happens due to all these factors, there is a shift of your growing active follicles from your growing phase to the resting phase. So around in normal patients, 8 to 10% of your hair follicles are under resting phase, but due to some trigger, suddenly all your active growing follicles, they shift from your active growing phase, that we call it as anagen, from anagen to telogen. So now this telogen hair follicles, after 2 to 3 months of any of these triggering factors, they suddenly start shedding. So that is one of the common cause. And there are other diseases, like if you have any renal disease, or if you have any, hepatic disorder, or if you have any psychological condition. So all these can lead to hair loss. Certain drugs can also lead to hair loss. Most commonly is your chloroquine, or if you are under chemotherapy for some cancer treatment, or radiotherapy. So all these can lead to hair loss.
Right. Thank you, doctor. And doctor, can a person's lifestyle play a role in hair loss?
Definitely, it plays a very important role. So overall, your lifestyle reflects on your skin and hair. So if you don't have a proper food habits, if you don't have a proper sleeping habits, if you don't exercise, if you smoke, if you drink alcohol, and if you eat a lot of junk foods, so definitely, smoking can cause heart problems. So definitely, any of these factors can lead to hair loss. So it is very important to have a healthy lifestyle. Definitely, it can lead to hair loss.
Right. And doctor, what is the role of diet? How can diet cause hair loss?
So diet is very important. A balanced diet, I would say, it is very important. A balanced diet should contain everything. It's not that if you're, on some sort of diet, so maybe if you're avoiding carbs, or if you're avoiding fats, so it is very important to have a balanced diet. You need carbs also, you need fat also, you need protein also, you need vitamins, you need all essential micronutrients. So definitely diet plays a very important role. If you are on a strict diet, so suddenly you may suffer from nutritional deficiencies, and nutritional deficiencies are known to cause hair loss. So if you if you are not having a proper diet, so then it can lead to your vitamin B12 deficiency, iron deficiency, calcium deficiency. So everything is important. You should not avoid particular diet, or you should not follow a particular diet. Rather, a healthy balanced diet would give you a good healthy hair.
Right. Thank you so much, doctor. Doctor, given the current scenario, COVID has been around for a long time now. So, could you
Yes.
please tell us the correlation between COVID-19 and hair loss, doctor?
So yeah, after this COVID, since last 2 years, I'm seeing a lot of patients coming to me that they had COVID and they suddenly started losing hair. So in COVID, there are usually three things. So one is your stress. Your stress levels are so high.
Hmm.
Second is, when you had COVID, so there is a lot of inflammation going in your body. There is a cytokine storm. And third is your nutritional deficiency. Because of COVID, you are not taking care of yourself properly, and you have a nutritional deficiency. So all these factors ultimately triggers the hair loss. So there is the same thing which I had spoke. All your active follicles, they suddenly shift from your growing phase to the shedding phase. So usually after COVID, after 2 to 3 months, people started losing hair, hundreds and hundreds of hair in bunches, and it's a very rapid shedding. So here the most important thing is don't panic, because if you'll panic, if you are under stress about your hair, then again it can lead to hair loss. So the most important thing is you should not panic. Whatever you are losing, you'll get it back. And focus on your diet, your lifestyle, stay hydrated. During that time, avoid smoking, avoid any harsh chemical treatments, avoid using a lot of products on your hair, and consult your doctor, take proper supplements. He may prescribe you, topical serums, topical solutions which can help you to grow your hair back.
Hmm. So, doctor, roughly after how much time does this hair come back? Is there any understanding of that as of now?
So usually you will lose after 2 to 3 months. Hair you will start losing, and there'll be a phase of shedding, roughly about say a month, and then this all hair follicles which are gone, they'll be replaced by new hair follicles or the new hair, and they'll grow back within a period of roughly say about 4 to 6 months.
Hmm. Okay. Well, that must be reassuring to our audience. Thank you so much for that, doctor. And you did mention topical formulations. So, doctor, they can be safely used for COVID patients to manage their
Yes,
hair.
definitely they can be used. And most of this topical solutions, either they contain some sort of growth factor, some oil, or some anti-inflammatory, antioxidant topical formulation, which either will stimulate the hair growth or will take care of the cytokine inflammation on your scalp. So, and some of them have antibacterial and antifungal properties also. So, if you have dandruff along with that, because of the stress, so then that can be taken care with the topical solutions, and they are very safe to use. But you need to first, know that what is required for you and what is not required for you. Unnecessarily using any over the counter products can damage your hair.
Hmm.
So definitely you should consider consulting your dermatologist.
Right. Thank you so much, doctor. Doctor, you did mention diet and certain nutrients that are very important for good hair. So, doctor, could you please speak a little of the on the role of nutraceuticals in hair loss, and also if you could explain the term nutraceuticals because it may be a little new for our audience members.
So nutraceuticals are basically these are the supplements which are based on your recommended dietary allowances, like daily need of your nutrition. So what you require, say example, your daily requirements of iron, vitamin B12, calcium, magnesium, selenium, your protein, your biotin. So these are they are customized according to your dietary allowances, and they are safe to be. If there is a deficiency, then they are safe to uh, give. But unnecessarily overdosing can also lead to hair loss, because it is known that your iron taking excessive supplement of iron, vitamin B12, zinc, so all these are known to cause toxicity and hair loss. So you should know that what is required for you. When you'll visit your doctor, he'll do a proper investigation, and if there is a requirement of this supplements, then he'll definitely prescribe you. So according, I think you should be in touch with your doctor and then take supplements accordingly. Unnecessarily self supplementation, I never advise.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, doctor. And doctor, let's come to dandruff. That is another agony that a lot of people face, and they also face hair loss because of that. So, doctor, could you please elaborate on how dandruff causes hair loss and what they can do about it?
See, personally, there is no scientific evidence that dandruff can lead to hair loss. But of course, your hair needs an healthy environment to, stay strong and grow. And you need to always differentiate between whether you have dandruff or you have a dry scalp or you have a seborrheic dermatitis. So accordingly, you need to treat it. Accordingly, you need to use the shampoo. And when you have dandruff, so there is at times a lot of itching and irritation that can break your hair. So dandruff directly, there is no evidence that it can lead to hair loss, but you need to keep your scalp clean. The key is to choose the right shampoo. So you can use a shampoo, which have antifungal agents in it, like ketoconazole, zinc pyrothon, cyclopyrox, and there are a lot of available. But you need to know whether you have, dry scalp or dandruff or seborrheic dermatitis, because unnecessarily, if you don't have dandruff and you keep on using anti-dandruff shampoo, then it may aggravate your scalp condition. So you need to first know that whether you have dandruff or not, and then you need to take care of it accordingly.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, doctor. And doctor, a lot of people don't have clarity about how to manage their hair. For example, small things like daily hair wash, or how to take a head bath. So if you could give some tips to our viewers on head bath or head wash, that will be really great, doctor.
Okay, the first thing is your head bath should be quick. It should be of shorter duration. It should not be too long. Second thing is choosing the right shampoo, as I have said. So if you have dry hair, then you need to use shampoo which contains some sort of moisturizing element in it or some sort of conditioner. And if you have dandruff, then accordingly you need to choose the shampoo. And also the hair wash, the frequency should be also, it should depend on your quality of hair. If you have dry hair, then 2 times in a week is more than sufficient. If you have oily hair, if you have dandruff, then you need to wash your hair every alternate day. And then if you have thin hair, then maybe 2 times or 3 times in a week you can wash. Always, air dry your hair. Use a soft cotton towel, and oiling is also very important, because if you have dry hair, then the best is just simply use coconut oil, because it has a very small molecular size, and it will be a very good preconditioner. So around 30 to 60 minutes before your head wash, you can just apply oiling on your hair, not on your scalp, because if you have oily, already there is a lot of oil secretions on your scalp, and if you will keep on applying oil, so that can again lead to inflammation, infection, fungal and bacterial infection. So oil your hair, not your scalp, and shampoo your scalp, conditioner on your hair length. So I think that's the basic thing one should follow. And second is you should not use too hot water.
Mm.
Always use lukewarm water or cold water to wash your hair, and do not use much of other products or hair dryer that can ultimately lead to hair damage.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, doctor. Now that we have understood hair loss and its causes, doctor, now could you please tell us about the medical treatment options that are available for hair loss?
See, there are a lot of medical treatment available. So, hair loss treatment, it's an holistic approach. Only one thing will not work. So, only topical solutions will not work, or only your supplements will not work. So, you need to focus on everything together. Then only you can prevent hair loss. So, you need to focus on your diet as well as on your supplements and your topical formulation. So there are a lot of treatments. So if you have like hereditary hair loss or endogenetic alopecia, so then minoxidil is used 2%, 5% in female and male. And if you have telogen effluvium, then all the growth factors and growth peptide based solutions are used. Along with that, supplements are given. And there are other treatments also which can, be can add on your basic treatment like PRP therapy, mesotherapy. So all this can be considered depending on the severity and the type of hair loss you have.
Right, absolutely. Thank you so much, doctor. And doctor, there's another common concern that people face with regard to their hair is that of premature graying. People of
Yes.
all age groups face that. So could you please tell us how the reasons for premature graying and what they can do to come out of it?
So graying is something. It's a physiological phenomenon. So it is said that around 50% of men and 50% of women by the age of 50, they'll develop 50% of gray hair. But when it is, when it started at early age, then definitely there are a lot of factors which can lead to premature graying. So usually we have seen, in small children's also, at teenage also, around 20s. So the first factor, which is very common, is due to your nutritional deficiencies. It is known that your vitamin B12, copper, zinc, all these deficiencies can lead to premature graying hair. And second is if you have any disease, like if you have vitiligo or leukoderma, which it causes white patches, so your hairs also become gray or white. And second is the other thing is your drugs, like medications. They can also lead to premature graying. So apart from all of this, your overall lifestyle also is important. So all these factors can lead to premature graying. And here also the key is where you should know that what is the reason. So usually what I tell my patients that the earlier we know that what is the cause for it, and the earlier we start the treatment, then that can improve your color, that can again give you a color. And if the cause is unknown, then at times it is genetics also. So I forgot to mention. So if it is due to your genetical reasons, so then that is again a cause of premature graying. So again, overall, we need to have a holistic approach for it, and then we can treat it. Most of the times, if the cause is known, then it is treatable. You can get your hair color back.
Right. Well, thank you so much, doctor. And doctor, let's talk about the monsoon season. India is currently facing monsoon throughout.
Yes.
So, doctor, again, a lot of hair fall people experience during the season. So, could you please give us some tips on how to control hair fall during monsoon?
So again, in monsoon, your the cause for hair loss is your humidity, because humidity can dry your hair, and then you can face those hair breakage issues. And second, your rainwater is acidic in nature, and it is dirty, so it can aggravate your dandruff or seborrheic dermatitis. So the main important thing is you need to keep your scalp clean, and you need to wash your hair properly. Don't style your hair much during monsoon. Just a simple ponytail or normal hair styling is sufficient. Always use white teeth comb, because that can prevent from that can detangle your hair. Usually in monsoon you face a lot of tangled issues. And next is focus on your diet. your nutrition, stay hydrated, and oiling should not be done too much, especially during monsoon. You can oil, but once or twice a week. I think that is more than sufficient. That's it.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Doctor. With that, we have come to the end of the questions. Let's take a look at if we have any audience questions. I think we have covered so much, Doctor, in hair care management today. So thank you so much. This was indeed an insightful and very informative talk. And thank you for answering all the questions, Doctor, with so much detailed explanation. I'm sure our viewers really enjoyed this session.
Welcome.
So, well, with that, we have come to the end of our live session. We hope that you found it informative and helpful. We'll see you in our next live session. Until then, you can incorporate the tips shared today by Doctor and get healthy and strong hair. This is your host, Deepthi Harvani, signing off. And yes, stay safe and stay healthy. Thank you.